Hi, it's Jack Sweeney. Brian Hogeland is back with us. He is the CFO of Packer Fastener. Brian first joined us on CFO Thought Leader last fall. However, recently I caught up with him via LinkedIn after I noticed he had commented on a featured video where one of LinkedIn's AI voices, and permit me here to confirm her name, Allie K. was the AI voice. And she was commenting on how it's time for AI adoption to evolve, and businesses must move beyond mere experimentation. I thought we'd share that video with you and discuss it with Brian, who I would characterize as being part of a quickly expanding class of CFOs who are today playing really a central role when it comes to the adoption of AI technologies and tools within their businesses. Part of the reason I reached out to Brian is really the nature of what Packer Fastener's business is about. What makes it special in my mind is that it's not special or it's not glamorous. It's just one of those middle market businesses that fulfills practical needs. And Brian, if you wouldn't mind, before I tee up Allie's video, tell the audience something about Packer Fastener. What's it about?
So Packer Fastener is a company. We sell nuts and bolts and other industrial supplies to manufacturers, contractors, and a decidedly low-tech type of a business. And so it seems a bit unusual to consider how AI can really, how can we be really a leader in that space? But, I've done a lot over my career where really blending technology advancements with, good business practices. And we found lots of ways that we can capture what's going on in this AI expansion, this revolution here, and just layer it into an average run-of-the-mill business to help us be more profitable, give better growth to our customers.
Well, as I mentioned, Brian, I thought we would now tee up the video featuring Allie K. who I noticed is now ranked as the #1 most followed voice in AI business on LinkedIn. So permit me to press the hot button here, somewhere here, to reconfigure our screen. Oh, there you go. Now, we'll tee up Allie's comments, and Brian then will come back and ask you to offer some insight as far as what Allie shared and how it may be applicable to your organization and what you're seeing regarding AI adoption. I think what we can reveal here is while AI adoption is evolving, as Allie explains, so too is the role finance plays in different organizations when it comes to AI adoption. But without additional comment, here is Allie K.
We're getting to the performance level of AI where it starts to feel very weird that some people are still only giving the advice of, you have to try these systems. For people who are not yet using it, yes, that is still good advice. You should be experimenting. You should be at least logging on to ChatGPT or Claude or Gemini and just figuring out what these systems can do. But for people that are already using ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, Perplexity, insert whatever assistant here, that advice is very 2023. We are now in 2025. AGI, supposedly from the AI labs, is right around the corner. Most of these predictions are landing us at some sort of AGI level performance. And I personally like Dario Amadei's description, which is a country full of geniuses inside of a data center, i.e. that it is cognitive knowledge that an AI can outperform humans on. I think that the fact that we're still giving advice that says, try this tool to all users, knowing that this is coming in 2 years, feels very off to me. Again, we're trying to elevate each level. If you're a non-user, come to a user. If you're a user, become a better user. If you are already a very strong user, there is a much wider set of things that I think that you should be spending your time on. One of the biggest that I would focus on right now is being an AI agent orchestrator. Now, we don't know whether the future is going to have one really big AI agent that's a generalist and horizontal, and that you will only be interacting with that, or whether that will kind of be like a mega brain AI. It will have sub-agents underneath it. This is my guess for what will happen, or whether you're going to manage a bunch of sub-agents. I tend to think that it's going to kind of be like an organization where you will have kind of multiple directs, maybe one that really understands your personal life, maybe one that really understands your business life, whatever. That you will have some of these kind of larger big brain AI, and that will delegate out to hundreds or maybe thousands of AI agents. You don't even have to be a super user today. If you are a decent AI user, my big suggestion is to start to move into that space, that mindset. That means testing out things like Manus AI, even just once, just to see what it can do. That means testing out things like deep research, because that starts to give you a feel for agentic workflows that might take several minutes or eventually several days. You have to start getting these cycles in, even if you are not a researcher or you don't have to run deep research like projects, because when non-research agents come out, you will go, ooh, I know exactly what that process looks like. I know that in natural language, it breaks down its steps. I know that sometimes it does steps out of order and validates the fourth before the first, whichever. You need to get those practice cycles in today. My most recent newsletter breaks down the 4 potential paths of AGI, the signals to look for, and what to do about it. So I hope you check it out. My name's Allie Miller. I'm the #1 most followed voice in AI business. I have a ton of free AI courses in my bio as well. And I hope you follow along for more.
Well, thank you, Allie Miller, #1 most followed AI voice on LinkedIn. Brian, before I ask you some questions specific to what Allie shared, could you reflect a little bit on the CFO role for us and tell us a little bit about your mindset as far as the CFO is concerned? Share something.
You look at something like AI, and I've always been part of the theory that data is just data, and passing the data back and forth. If you look at the transactions, there's attributes about data, and you're just sharing data with your trading partners and with your customers, with your vendors, and finding more efficient ways to do that is really the CFO's role. So the adoption of AI, I think, and what Allie's talking about is just, I think, the next evolution of what CFOs should be doing, corralling information, trying to find ways to use it to make smarter business decisions and influence where a business heads.
Part of what she shares, of course, is this point about people are still parceling out 2023 advice, and here we are in 2025. From your seat, are finance teams still stuck in an experimentation mode? And how do you nudge them towards, real AI workflows?
Yeah, one of the things that I mean, there are some teams obviously that are stuck. It seems like so we use NetSuite as our financial system, our operational system, and that was a big leap forward for us to advance the discussion in utilizing more technology in our business. I think a lot of other finance leaders are moving in that direction. Some of the local peer groups that I'm a part of with other finance professionals, this is a really hot topic. A lot of different businesses are saying, look, we need to move to these more advanced technologies, whether it's an ERP system in the cloud or if it's an AI platform. You can't just stand by and watch it happen. You have to be engaged and try to be that voice of change, of a catalyst of change. So definitely it feels like some of the things that we're doing within our team, and I mentioned this on your podcast a while back, in my weekly finance team, I've got a standing topic talking about, hey, what did you see with AI this week? And I've been really impressed with my team bringing ideas back and showing not just business ideas, but personal ideas. People using it to plot out food planning, people using it to plot out, somebody came up with a way to create a babysitting sort of overview for their kids, somebody who's coming over to watch their kids. And you start to hear more examples of it and start to say, okay, I can see where this makes that difference. Maybe you look at different tools. How is this one better than that one? So, ChatGPT tends to be better at image generation, but Perplexity tends to be better at just searching for content. Microsoft Copilot has its place because it really interacts with your enterprise data. So you start to see the different tools and how can I deploy this one because here's the problem I'm trying to solve.
Is it just, do you see your finance team being more collaborative with their AI experiences, meaning sharing them cross-functionally?
Yeah. So again, one of the things we've done within our organization is we put together what we called AI 101, where we really just tried to introduce some of these concepts to the larger organization. We had this about a month and a half ago. We had our first hour, really just later in the day, come into our training room, hop onto a Teams call, just listen to some of the things. Here's some of the tools we're using. And we're using some of our finance examples in that training to say, hey, here's some things that we're doing. It might resonate with you, maybe in a sales role or in a procurement role. You'd start to connect the dots. So that was a really good amplification for us. Lots of really positive discussion after that session to talk about, I wonder if I do that. And you start to, even just things that we think we've got a good handle on, it starts to advance our own initiatives because of something a different department talked about.
AGI level performance, she said, may arrive within 2 years. Business leaders must plan now. Are you a thumbs up, or that meant something to you?
Yeah, we work pretty closely with a futurist, is his title, and his perspective on that world is not just what we know as the AI models today, but the blending of that with robotics. And he had said, probably within 3 years, we would see robots that really start to deploy, but definitely within 5 years. When you think about those terms, this AGI concept, at least within, like a software type agent, software type AI model, you start to say that 18, 24 months isn't unreasonable in here.
She described the next frontier, AI agent orchestration, managing a network of specialized agents rather than a single tool. Do you share that? Do you see that as well?
And some of I mentioned it earlier, some of the tools are better at certain tasks than other tasks, right? So you start to say, this is where I'm going to have ChatGPT fill in. This is where perplexities might play. Here's the agents we're running in Microsoft because we want that within our walled garden of our Microsoft tenant. And even within those tools, you'll have subsets of tasks that maybe this is a finance agent versus that is a sales agent out there working on the tools. So I really do believe this idea of multiple, kind of in the robotic process automation space, where you'd have multiple kind of robots that would run and do certain tasks. It's a similar concept.
But Brian Hogeland is the CFO of Packer Fastener. Again, he was on episode last fall with us. We appreciate him. 1045 last fall with us. So, Brian, thank you for your time. Have a great weekend.
Thanks, Jack. You too.